I FOMO'd in at the top like most people do.
I'm on a blockchain with it, and my blockchain monkeys full of octane in them. You know the vibe, plus we shredded than a motherfucker. Crash monkeys. Crash monkeys. Go Planet of the Apes, gorillas in a mess. All these bad rules all over my shit. It go.
We got a lot we could talk about, really. You know, I don't care. It's
you're making me more frothy over
right
casino coin.
Right. Yeah, dude. I mean, think about it this way. Like, get outside of all the adoption and all that, right? And like you look at the price, and obviously, well, you can't get outside of adoption, but I was just talking, you know who Mr. Intuitive is?
I just came across him like about a week ago.
Yeah, he's the official cool guy of the Digital Asset Investor channel. That guy. I've been chatting with him a little bit, and he was kind of asking me, he was like, okay, well, why is Casino Coin going to be worth anything? And I was like, well, I kind of see it as like, it's on the ledger now, right? So it's going to operate kind of like XRP in a way, just because it's on the network. You know, it's going to have similar properties to an extent. So I figured it might work kind of like ODL in the sense of that they don't really have to hold Casino Coin to utilize it. It would just, you know, kind of run through it. And then he didn't say anything for a couple of days. He messaged me actually earlier today, I think. And he was like, well, what if they run private ledgers for each casino and then run the Casino Coin on the in-house ledger while people are there? Then they get to really take advantage of KYC, AML, you know, the fact that nobody's touching cash or anything. You don't even have chips anymore. You know, I mean, you could just, I saw at the table, what's that? I can't remember what that resort was called. They were showing, I put it in one of my videos. They're doing the touchless tables now where you just tap your table and it does stuff.
That. Were they demoing Casino Coin then?
They didn't have Casino Coin on that thing, but that was all happening right as Casino Coin was really like pounding Twitter and everything like hard. And it's like, you know, they're not even using blockchain. That's just with cash. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, imagine when you put blockchain in there, you know, they talk about those chargebacks with casinos. You know, you're setting up all these accounts and sometimes there's just like all these stupid fees along the way. And that stuff adds up to like millions of dollars every year. Yeah. You know, just like cross-border payments, they lose trillions of dollars and billions of dollars every year because there's just lost fees along the way. And that's why XRP could be so valuable one day. So
what's crazy is this will eliminate that just like that.
Yeah.
It eliminates all of that.
Man. You flip the switch, and they say, and I don't think it was the IMF. I think it might have been like the World Economic Forum that said it, but they said I think, don't quote me on that, but they were saying that most of them favor the overnight approach. I've seen that in writing in a few documents. So most people are like, oh, you know, it's going to be this gradual thing. We got to ease into it. It's like, I don't think that's what's going to happen at all. Yeah. I think we're going to wake up one morning and they're going to be like, hey guys, we're going to go ahead and start using this. Like, you know, and you're just going to be like, what? Like, what's happening? Like, it's crazy.
Could you imagine the rush of that? If that happened, the rush.
Oh yeah, man.
It would just be flooded, man. Crazy.
And see, what's interesting about that, like some of my buddies are like, okay, well, once this thing gets clarity, like what stops the banks from buying all of it? And which I think is a valid question. Like they're 56 cents right now. Hey. Bank of America could buy every XRP on the market right now if they wanted to, but the problem is they wouldn't be able to use it if they owned all of it. So I find it interesting that nobody's bought all of it. And I really think that's because they can't use it if one person buys all of it. It needs to be liquid, you know? Yeah. And I kind of think that's what the escrow is all about. I think that's like a safeguard. So Ripple has ODL XRP at all times. Yeah. No matter what, we have XRP.
This thing was well thought of way before we even knew.
So who you think started the plan? Who you think the first one in their head was like, I think about that all the time, man.
I don't know.
I go all the way, like I get into the whole Satoshi thing, man. I got crazy theories about all that stuff too, man. I think it's also so much fun to talk about that stuff, man. You know?
Yeah. I feel like Swartzy's in there somewhere.
Yeah, man. David's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
He's got some credentials too over the years, man. You know.
Yeah.
You think about it. He worked on like the NSA. I don't know if he worked for them. I think it was an NSA contract. So he was like 1099. I don't think it was 1099, but you know what I'm saying. He was brought in, and then he developed cloud technology for CNN, which I've always found that like really interesting too. I'm pretty sure that's who it was for. And you know, like I'm not going to get political or anything, but you know, when you talk about like the media, you know, those people are only going to trust certain people with their technology. So that tells me that NSA and one of the biggest news medias in the world, I mean, they trust Schwartz, man.
Yeah.
And you look at Brad's a straight dog. I don't care what anybody says about Brad. That dude's a dog, man. I love that guy. It's like the most swag in the crypto space. Brad Garlinghouse, man.
Brad Garlinghouse is a stone cold beast.
Yes, he's a shark. They say
that's right. Don't let that
but like in public, he speaks real well. He's super laid back. He's funny.
Animal.
Like, yeah, that's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's had some crazy jobs, man. The whole Yahoo thing and like AOL and all the stuff he came from, man. I mean, there's some high positions that guy's had. You ever notice that with Ripple? Everybody there has had like bomb ass jobs in these fields, like high up too. It's not like, you know, like the assistant manager from the grocery store is getting hired at Ripple. I mean, you got like Treasury and it's just like CFTC people.
All the greats
everybody
over here. SEC, political, everything, you name it. Like, did you see their lawyer squad?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you see half of them are SEC once upon a time. You know what I mean? Which means if they were SEC once upon a time, they have about a 70% chance of being Goldman once upon a time.
Yeah.
Because Goldman pretty much is that's how I see it, man. I'm like, you know, it's like,
it's a big family with a bunch of, you know what I mean? A bunch of big names.
Yeah, man. You know what's crazy too is like full disclosure on me as an XRP holder. So the first time I heard about Ripple was in relation to Ripples before they were XRPs. I heard about Ripple. A buddy of mine was mining Litecoin. He mined Doge and a few others like way back. And he was like, yeah, there's this other thing, Ripples, but I'm not going to mine that, like, or whatever. I'm not mining it, but I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah.
And whatever. I never thought anything of it. And then when me and my wife got married a few years ago, but when we were dating, her father-in-law a few years ago, he like knew I was about my money and stuff just because, you know, I own a business and there's just, if you're ever around me in person, man, I chase money. I guess that's my thing. You know what I mean? And it's not really about the money. It's about like my family and about my life. Like you can't do what you want to do if you ain't got money. I don't care what anybody says.
That's what it is, man.
It sucks. It sucks. And so he was like, he used to work on a stock exchange in New York and in LA back in the day, or somewhere in Cali. I don't know if it was LA, but he was like, you know, have you ever heard of XRP? And I'm like, no, what the hell is that? And he's like, it's a cryptocurrency, right? And I'm like, oh, like I know a little bit about that. You know what I mean? Because like I actually had Bitcoin back in the Mt. Gox days. Like I was getting Bitcoin at like single digits once upon a time. Dude. But what was going on with Bitcoin back then wasn't anything like what's going on right now. It was very obscure.
Yeah, it's like, should I hold on to this? Should I leave this alone?
Like we were using it to send money back and forth a couple times to each other, like just some little side stuff here and there. But it was never, we didn't even understand what it was. We just found out about it because the news was like, you know, smuggling money and all this crazy stuff. And then, so we were like, okay, what is this thing? It's just interesting. And so anyway, I hadn't dealt with crypto since like, I think I had Bitcoin like originally in like 2011 or something like that, I think.
And then you took a long break?
Yeah, I took 2011 to 2012. And then I, to be honest with you, I didn't purchase any crypto until 21. I had not gotten back into this space. Now I had paid
all that time off.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like I had been paying attention, but my father-in-law, he starts putting me up on this XRP thing. And you know, in the beginning, like I was hearing him, but I wasn't listening. You know, I'm kind of like, oh, this older guy's like telling me all this crazy stuff. You know, he's all like, you know, the global monetary system, the financial framework. And I'm like, this guy's, you know, kind of crazy. If you're watching, Mike, shout out just in case my father-in-law is watching. I love you. he's heard this story before, but I thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
And I was sitting here one day. I had founded this photography company with one of my best friends. You know, I had photography experience my whole life. He didn't have any, but he was learning. And you know, we went in 4 years, we went from 90 grand our first year to almost 600. And then everything went south. They ended up firing me and my wife. She was pregnant at the time, like 2 days before the stay-at-home order went down for COVID. Wow. Yeah, so when all that happened, I was like super stressed out. I did not have any savings or anything, you know what I mean? Yeah. And neither one of us had a job. So I just was sitting around with nothing to do. So I remembered, I was like, hey, Mike, I was like, what's a couple of those YouTube channels you told me about that I should be checking out about this crypto stuff?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you know, so he gave me, it was originally DAI.
Yeah.
Brad Kimes at Digital Perspectives. And then there was a couple other guys he told me about. And then very shortly after, I found Moon Lambo, BC Back. Oh, he taught me about Christopher Green. You know who he is, AMTV?
Yep. I watched him back in the early days.
Yeah, he's been wilding out on Twitter recently. I don't know what he's doing, but his tweets blow my mind. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
It's crazy.
So but he has great information, the way he processes stuff. He worked for Merrill Lynch for years. So I like the way he thinks about stuff.
Yeah.
But through that whole process, I started watching
craziness. You might miss it.
Yeah. I started watching all that stuff right after I lost my job. And I mean, dude, it was like, I watched 2 or 3 DAI videos, and you know, DAI, man, he's probably my favorite because the powers of observation that guy has, with just like, I remember somebody said that 5 years ago. And then he goes in, he's like, boom, 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 boom. You're like,
all the time. That's how you know he's locked in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he was another one. He worked in the finance world for a long time before this. Well, I don't know how long he did, but I know he was an advisor once upon a time.
Well, that's what helped me.
Yep.
Him, like when I first came across XRP, I didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Just because of the way my morals were set up, I didn't want anything to do with it. But it was digital asset investor, and also what's his name? Green Eggs and Ham. Sam Miami.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. What helped me was during the bear market, when he kept talking about the 589, and he had us all going. But the thing about it is he has so much information backing why that could possibly happen. The information that him and Digital Asset kept giving to us helped me stay, even when the market wasn't doing anything for that long bear market where a lot of people left.
Oh yeah, man.
It was the information that I kept receiving said, hey, I said to myself, I don't care how long this takes. I am not missing this.
Well, and that's how I felt. It's like, I hadn't really even looked at crypto in so long. And he starts talking to me about all this stuff. And like, so I get on, this is like, I lost my job on the 16th of March. I'm probably watching this late March, early April, something like that. So you can imagine what the price, you know what I mean? In our reality, and pretty heavily in our reality. I I bought these last couple big dips pretty hard too. So like I'm straight, you know, but like I didn't buy with the intent of saying, you know, like, I mean, dude, I do buy some of the shit coins sometimes. You know, I did the Safe Moon. I turned $400 into $3,000. You know, it was $9,000 overnight, but I was afraid to sell it because I was like, this is it. You know, it might happen. And but like most of my holdings are all utility based. It's all utility based for the most part. But I'm a gambler too, which is why you see me talking about casino coin all the time. I'm a big I like to play cards a lot. I'm a big cards guy. Anything from like spades, tonk to like blackjack and poker, whatever. I love cards. And then I'm a big sports betting guy. I love betting on sports, man. I'm a huge football dude where I go crazy. And so yeah. It's big. It's big. What'd you say?
That's it. The casino coin, it helps. It makes me feel like I'm in the, even though it's not a shit coin. It makes me feel like I'm in that shit coin realm. It satisfies that shit coin feeling that I need.
It's those decimals.
Yeah, it's the little guys.
Yep.
The little, yeah.
You got 3 decimals instead of 2 or 1. You know, it's Hey man, I just called my boy earlier and I was like, for $3,100 on BitTrue, you can have 1 million CSC right now. 3,100. I mean, that was like an hour or 2 ago, but like 3 or 4 grand for 1 million of something. And if that utility, if it gets adopted, man, if it gets, and I did see they leaked part of their next blog, which I don't want to ruin my own YouTube video, but I'm gonna do it anyway. they leaked part of the blog, and it was basically saying they have their first like poker star influencers on board now, and that's what they're going to be talking about next. So now you have like a gambler guy who's known that's going to be like shilling it, basically. I guess. I mean, I don't want to call it shilling, you know, because it sounds bad, but they're going to be promoting it, marketing it. I guess we'll change that word real quick.
When I saw that it was that, like, it really hit home for me today when I was reading. You had showed something on your video where the XRPL DEX CSC would be on there and be able to trade with those pairs: Ethereum, Litecoin, USD, and the Euro. I believe I think I saw it on there.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about on their .info website.
Yeah,
where it shows all those pairings down there at the bottom. Yes. Yeah. Wow. I think it was the Euro, USD, and I think maybe I don't think the yuan was on there. I think that's
not yet. But I saw a CNY.
Yeah, I think that's the yuan. I think that is it.
Yeah,
I think that's what that is. I'm about to Google that on my phone real quick. What is I'm pretty sure that's the yuan.
I believe so. I think I just saw a video today on Forecast News when they were talking about the China CNY.
Yeah, it's the yuan. I was pretty sure it was. I don't want to sound like an idiot on this video.
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, it's the yuan. I'm like, nah, man, that's like France or something. You know, it's like,
yeah. And to think of all that potential utility that may be coming.
Yeah, man. I really think, and especially after talking to Mr. Intuitive earlier, I just really think they could utilize it pretty much identical to how the banks are going to utilize XRP.
Yes.
You could have, because you know who Quincy is, obviously, at this point. He was even saying that every bank account with the bank would technically be a private ledger in one of his videos. So basically, if you go to the bank and the bank has, 10,000 customers, they have 10,000 private instances of the ledger for each account. And that's where the real security is coming from, because he explains how you have to have permission from both sides and all this stuff. I'm not going to try to get into that because I'll butcher that, but that's why it's pretty interesting. So then you think, okay, that means potentially I would think you could add that to Casino Coin, being that it's on the network, because it's a whole new token. It's not the same token at all. They basically just honored what was on BitTrue, basically.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so if that's the case, I mean, I mean, the utility, the part that blows my mind is the lobby app. I don't know if you watched they did a YouTube video on it.
I did.
It's pretty cool, man. Like, so once you sign up, you got to do your KYC and everything. So you're already approved. And then any operator who's been onboarded, you click and you can be online gaming immediately with them, because your identity's already there. They know you're not money laundering. All this stuff is already safeguarded for them and for you, really. You don't have to worry about anything. And I just want to be able to place a bet with it, bro, to be honest. I don't know if you've seen, they have a tip bot now.
I did.
They're blowing Twitter up right now, dude. Twitter is going crazy with Casino Coin drops everywhere. I mean, they're tweeting everybody. I had a Quadjack sent me, I think he sent me 100, or Daniel sent me an XRP. And then this other guy, Utility Boss, he's been trying to send me 1,000. We've been having there's something going on with the network. It hasn't been coming through. We haven't figured out why, but
I have to scan it with my Zum wallet.
I actually just got it when I just opened my phone. And I'm going to tweet this guy real quick because he's waiting.
Yeah. Sweet, man.
Cool. No, who knows? Oh, that's funny. I'm not going to read his response on here. I'll send it to you in a message. I figured out what was wrong. It wasn't me.
What else?
So guys, the Zum app tip bot is working. for Casino Coin and XRP officially. Now that I've got my tokens, I am endorsing it.
Sweet. All right. What else we loving in this space?
I mean, I like all the ISO stuff. Obviously, you know, you got XLM, which I think they're tied to ISO mainly through IBM, I think. But Zenfin, XDC, I'm all about that. And how cheap is that right now? I mean,
know.
You don't have at least get a bag, you know, like why not?
Why not? You got
Algorand, I love. I only have 100 of them on Coinbase staked. You know what I mean? I was so tuned in on everything else that I was doing. I wasn't paying attention to smart contracts recently.
Right.
And then but once I started being like, oh, Cardano, they're talking about it killing ETH. So I'm like, I'll go check that out. And I started seeing, oh, this is all about smart contracts. Yeah. Some of your videos, you had a whole week where it was just like Algo. And I'm like, okay, this guy's talking about it. Let me do some more research. I would love to have more of that. They're another ISO coin. Michael Arrington donated $100 million.
I saw that at the Miami Bitcoin.
Yeah, at the Miami thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
And remember, if you remember, they were all chilling. They were all broed up. And, Arrington was like, I think XRP and Algo could have a great relationship. Yeah. And then 2 hours later, the news breaks. It's like, what? Yes. They're all wearing the palm trees. And a lot of people don't realize that those palm trees, the palm tree is a symbol of victory, man. I went and Googled it. I'm like, why are these three guys I think it was Michael Arrington, him, and then I don't remember who the other guy was off the top of my head. But I remember I was like, okay, what's the symbol of palm trees? I was like, that's interesting. They're gold palm trees. It's just those three guys. They're together, you know? Yeah. And it was just straight up victory. I was like, hoo. I see y'all.
Man, it's just so funny to think it's do these guys already know way before?
Some of them do. I don't care what anybody says, man.
I don't care either.
That's for me, man, I won't get too deep into it this time, but I don't buy the Satoshi story. I feel very similar to DAI. A lot of people, this whole libertarian movement behind crypto, right? It sounds real nice. It
sounds nice.
But I don't think it's real, man.
Right.
I think you look at these CBDCs even, they're that Augusta Carson's guy said from the BIS the other day, he was like, we have no control when we issue a stimulus over what you do with $100 bill. We don't know who you gave it to. We don't know when you gave it to them or what you gave it to them for. And we don't know where it goes next.
Right.
They were with CBDCs, that all changes.
Everything.
They can actually program your currency. And I don't know that they will do this, but this is possible. You can program your currency to only be usable in certain instances. Yes. So they could issue an unemployment and say, let's just call it Fed coin because that's a common term.
Food and that's it.
Yeah. Food, utilities, rent, the essentials basically.
Right. Yeah.
And in some ways, I think that's okay. I think that money should be used what it's for, but you're also infringing on my freedom to do whatever the hell I want. And I don't think that's cool because we all know that the more they push on those boundaries, the farther that stuff goes over time.
Yes.
Even if we don't see it in our lifetime, you got to be careful.
You got to be careful because they think way far in advance. It's just a little bit of we'll take a little bit of your freedom right now. And then we'll take a little bit more later.
Yeah, by the time you realize you're jammed up, it's you just let them do it already,
Yeah.
But talking about them having all this foresight, man, I really think I like the idea of Bitcoin being, the group. And I don't know who the group necessarily is, but I don't think it's a one guy job. It's just too crazy.
Yeah.
David Schwartz said he found it on Ask Jeeves. Come on. What is David Schwartz doing on Ask? You're working for the NSA. What the hell are you doing on Ask Jeeves? And that was the original Google. So I get that it was big, but I don't know. I can't deal with that. It's just it's the same code that the NSA was using for some of their cryptography, which that's okay. Maybe they could have got hacked. Maybe somebody stole that code and was like, ooh, I'm going to do something they can't stop. I mean, maybe that is.
Yeah.
But I kind of look at the origins of Bitcoin. Crypto is not at large used for illicit activity. It's not. I don't buy into that narrative. Bitcoin was. I'm not saying it is. It was in the beginning, you had a lot of sketchy activity.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what created the initial value for Bitcoin. And I think once the initial value was there, that's when people started actually getting involved. They're like, okay, well, maybe that we can start trading. And I think they may have done this on purpose for one.
Yes.
Yeah. So to fluff it up so it was worth something. And for two, look at how many people went to jail. You look at Silk Road, that Dread Pirates Robert guy that they got. I mean, dude, that guy's going forever.
Yeah, man.
And that was, I mean, he put out a hit on somebody, so whatever. But like, that's all traced through Bitcoin wallets and stuff. I mean, how quickly did they recover Bitcoin from that ransomware thing?
I know. Come on, man.
Kind of crazy, man. You know, it's immutable. You just like Ethereum. Or they got that proposal now where they can reverse mine the blocks and change transactions. And it hasn't went into play, but it's being discussed right. Google that when you get a chance. Because they talk about it being immutable. They're saying that you could do this using some form of consensus. They could reverse mine a block, change the transactions, and they have some stuff in place to where it's not really worth it to do it for no reason. Yeah. But like Brad Kimes had posted about it, and he's like, if they can do this for bad actors, they can do it to anybody.
Yeah.
So there's another concern. I mean, they all have their hurdles, but
what do you think?
What do you think
is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen in the near future with like things like proof of work, like Bitcoin and Ethereum?
Well, you know, Ethereum, they're making the switch to proof of stake, which I think is cool. I actually, I won't get into too many of him and I's discussions, but I know one of the guys, one of the devs from Verge, XVG. And me and him chat. We live in the same area. Well, he's not down here anymore, but he was. And he was telling me, and he's a dev from like, you know, I mean, from the basement up. He works. He created the Verge wallet. Actually, I think is what his initial thing was.
Wow.
But yeah. He
I remember that wallet.
He was saying that proof of stake in his mind is the most efficient method in existence. And yeah, which, you know, I don't know. I kind of like some of the more like, you know, the Ripple structure for XRP.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it. I don't like the whole, because proof of work, the energy thing. I don't know if you can trust what either side's saying. Is it using that much energy? Is it? There's so much propaganda each way. You know what I mean? It's just
each direction.
Well, like they talk about how it's using all this waste energy, right? That I have never heard of that concept in my life until I started researching proof of work. And they're talking about it's like runoff energy that gets wasted anyway at like the power plants and stuff. At least a lot of it is. Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I guess it is. I mean, I found a lot of articles on it, but.
And then you got Algo, who's pure proof of stake.
Yeah.
And they're carbon negative.
Yeah, exactly. And well, that's what's cool about it because it doesn't consume the energy. The only thing that worries me about, like, okay, so Algorand being with smart contracts, you know, I know they're going to be involved with like the financial system and all that stuff. Ethereum, they wanted to be like the most programmable network on the planet, pretty much. So that's why Ethereum gets bogged down. There's so much stuff on it.
Oh my goodness.
DeFi, you got games. There's games out the wazoo on there. I mean, there's so much stuff to get into on Ethereum. It's the most developed chain in the world. I mean, hands down.
Yeah.
But their problem is the congestion from the network now. But what worries me is going to proof of stake. That should free up all those gas fees immediately. It should free up. But what happens as it continues to scale? Nobody really has an answer for that yet because proof of stake is still pretty young. You know what I mean? You don't have a proof of stake network with all that. And the only thing that worries me is just the fact that the network is using locked up funds to validate, basically. I don't know if that's exactly how it works, but that's essentially how I see it. The tokens have to be staked there for everything to continuously run. It just makes me wonder, like, what happens if somebody pulls a lot of it out of the network? I don't know if that would affect it. Or like you see like a Uniswap, which this is totally different. It's not Algorand, and I don't think it's proof of stake either, but they their governance is what I'm getting at too. The governance with staking. I think Uniswap, they were saying it was like 70%. I think it was Harvard University or somebody.
Yeah.
Because when they just did that recent proposal, whoever that university was just came in and was like, yes, and it pretty much made it happen, you know. And I was just kind of like,
and then you see that the Uniswap is getting a lot of like bigger companies are starting to carry Uniswap now because I guess because of the backing by Harvard, which gives them the okay to go ahead and take that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's it's all about it's who you know and who knows you, and
it's like, yeah, we'll take this. Go ahead and make it valuable for us.
I think another one that I don't know. I'm sure you're familiar with it, but a lot of people are still sleeping on it. Is HBAR, man.
I've been sleeping on it too, but King Solomon is changing my mind.
Yeah, man. If you just go look at their governance board and just read that, and it's like,
whoo! I saw that.
There's a big name,
and then you got Boeing in there too.
Yeah, Boeing's there. LG. Who else was on there? It's been a while since Google. Obviously, I think IBM's on there. And what's interesting about them is it's not technically blockchain; it's Hashgraph, which is like a whole new concept. I think the token's only been,
right?
Huh?
That's one of those quantum proof chains, right?
Supposed to be. So is Cardano and stuff, though, from what I understand. Yeah. I think Cardano is supposed to be quantum resistant too. But they, the HBAR thing, it's so weird when you listen to them talk about like proof of believability, proof of
community and all this stuff.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to break that down for me.
Yeah. That's why Quincy was like a godsend when he first hit and made with Matty G, man. I was like, dude, nobody's talking about this stuff. And he's like 24, man.
Yeah. He's full of it too.
He's a young dude.
Yeah.
And then he came out and said so much that he got a job with Zinfin.
He's like, Zinfin said, hey, yo, come on over here and stop talking so much.
Yeah, they're like, sign this NDA, come get some money and shut up. Like,
shut up. Shut up.
He just covered Casino Coin today, actually.
Yep, I saw it.
I didn't watch it yet, but I did see it. Yeah. He's a young dude, man. I remember seeing him. I'm like, how old is this cat? It's like he's a young dude. And sharp as a tack, man.
You were talking about earlier about Ethereum being able to scale after this proof of stake transfer. What's good about these other coins? You know that they're already eligible to scale up. Yeah, like a lot of these layer ones know what they're able to scale up to already.
Yeah.
So I was just,
that's like the speed of some of them that are coming out now too. I mean, I think
like Solana's great, man.
Yeah, actually, it was just my buddy that I was on the phone with before we did this. He actually he had put in a order for Solana if it dropped down to whatever price he had picked. And then when I was on the phone with him, he's like, oh man, he's like, all my orders filled. He's like, I guess I got a bunch of Solana now.
Yes.
Let me see.
And this is a great time right now because like for newbies that are coming into this space, this is a blood red gushy time to get whatever you need, whatever you want. This is a great time to get it, man.
Buy red, get rich.
Yeah.
That's what Christopher Green says all the time, man. I'm trying to find this article on here on oh my god, I forgot that Hedera updated their governance. So now you have Avery Dennison, Boeing, Chainlink, Deutsche Telekom. I'm not reading all of them. These are just the ones I'm familiar with. LG, Google, IBM, Standard Bank. Wow, I didn't know that they had. Yeah, so here it goes. It says first generation Bitcoin. Transactions per second, 3. Ethereum, 12. What?
You said
12, and then HBAR, 10,000. HBAR is faster than XRP. Wow. Way faster. I think XRP is 1,500, which is still. I mean, how much more do you really need? You know what I mean? But like, right. And then the average fee is 0.0001, 3 to 5 second settlement. And the energy is like 0.00017 kWh, which I don't know what that means, but the Bitcoin is almost 1,000. So it's quite a bit less, crazy. Like 1 million times less, you know?
Crazy.
Wow. 10,000.
It's so crazy, like the times we're in, right? It's like nobody knows about this stuff, really.
That's what's crazy to me is how like, so, okay, I'm glad you said that. Remember I was talking to you in the DM earlier and I was like, I'm going to bring this up when we go on here. So recently I did a Coinbase video where I cashed out some USDC somebody sent me. And I had never cashed out before. I had never sold any crypto. And I had my landlord, who's also a friend of mine, we're renting from her right now. I was trying to get her and her husband involved. I'm like, man, you guys, you know, you should really look into this, you know. And she was like, yeah, but like everybody's just telling me like you can't get your money out when you want to and all this. And I was like, really? So I made that video and like, dude, I sold it on Coinbase and less than 10 seconds later, it was in my bank account. So, I mean, it's only $500, you know, I wasn't selling, you know, 50 grand, $1 million bucks or anything. I don't know how that works, but yeah, I would love to know how that works. I'll let you know the day I cash one of those in, but, and then, so the misconceptions, man, they're everywhere. And this guy comes over, he's a friend of ours too. He's our neighbor. He has like a pest control thing. So every couple months we'll have him come through. He'll spray the yard and stuff for us. Just so you know, it's Florida. There's bugs everywhere. You got ants, whatever.
Tell him you'll pay him an XRP.
Well, yeah. So he's standing in my hallway, and my roommate is super big into crypto. Also, he actually just. I don't know if you've seen on PancakeSwap, they have this prediction game you can play, where you basically bet up or down, and it'll, after each block locks, it locks a price, and then you bet, will this go up or down in the next 5 minutes? And you got a time limit to place your bet, and you're betting BNB. And, you know, the multipliers change depending upon how many people are on each bet in each direction. But he just, you know, I'm not going to put his business out there, but I mean, he just made a couple grand in like a 2-week time period just clicking. Wow. And so he's, you know, he's pretty into this stuff. He's a big XRP guy too. And we started talking about it to the guy in the hallway, and we like said something about crypto, and he's like, yeah, my only thing about crypto is like, you know, like it's going to be going away here soon. And we were both like, I'm like, what? And, you know, and he's like, yeah, you know, they only use it for illegal activity. He said they only use it for illegal activity. I hope he's watching this too, because I gave him my channel. And I told him, I was like, you should just watch like a handful of random videos. I was like, just do a little bit of research. Like, I was like, they want you to think that. Trust me. I was like, that's a very common thought process right now. But it just blows my mind how these people in my dad and my other father-in-law on the other side of the thing, they're like, you know, just be careful, you know, make sure you take some money while you have a chance. I've known so many people who they go to cash out and there's nothing there, which I don't really know what they mean by that. If that's like some old school stock guy taking off to like the Caribbean like money or something. But it's like,
it sounds like what's been happening with Robinhood a few months ago.
Yeah, they got a lot of problems, man. They're getting ready to IPO, I guess.
Yeah, that too.
That's like a 4X if you got them in the beginning of all that, because they were, I think when they were private, it was like $13. They're going to IPO at like 45.
That's a quick.
I'm not a Robinhood guy though, man. I don't like buying it. I don't know a Robinhood guy. I like, if you're gonna do like a stocky app. I used to use the Stash app a lot.
Stash.
Yeah, I like them.
I still have that Stash app.
Yeah. I wonder if they have crypto yet. Probably not.
I don't think so yet.
PayPal's doing it.
PayPal, Venmo. I mean,
yeah, Venmo. The other one, eBay, is going to soon be the biggest NFT marketplace in the world because they're adopting the NFT as a platform. Wow. eBay. I mean, that's big, dude. That's a big deal.
They needed that.
That's not like Craigslist. I'm talking about eBay.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, I keep seeing this Amazon coin. Give me 1 second. I got dogs barking. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
I thought something was going down. He was barking at his food bowl.
Oh yeah. I'm talking to Matty G right now.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna do a video at some point.
Yeah, he just did a video with this this other guy. His name, it's like the Stoned Investor or something like that. He's talking about doing one with me tomorrow. He interviewed Matty G, and it was a pretty good one. I just watched it a couple days ago.
Millionaire.
Huh?
Was it the millionaire guy he had on the show?
No. He's like a younger guy.
Okay.
I don't really know how to describe him. I haven't seen much of his content yet, but I guess he's like brand new. He doesn't have a lot of followers. He's fresh on Twitter, and he hit me up out of the blue about, I think, because of casino coin videos, and was like, "Hey, can we do it? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I was like, because we were talking about it earlier, man. The community vibe is what needs to be going on. Like, it'd be cool if, like, let's say you were a Bitcoin maxi and I'm an XRP guy. We should be able to do this and still be like crypto, you know?
Crypto.
But
that's what it's about.
They're like, what? You know, rah! And you're just like, dude.
Yo,
I hate it, man.
I was excited.
Something on a Bitcoin thread the other day, and dude, these guys came out of the woodworks to let me know that I didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, dude, like, whoa.
I don't understand it, bro.
They're angry too, man.
Yeah. I saw the Bitcoin Miami conference, right? I was excited to see it, right? But then when I saw like the antics that were going on, I was like, yeah, you took the taste out of it. What's going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I think about that conference, I just picture Max Kaiser when he came out on stage.
That's the face. That's the whole conference right there.
He's like, we're not selling, you know, and you're like, whoa, dude. Fuck Elon, you know, you're like, oh my God.
Come on, dude.
Don't get me wrong, man. I mean, he had the crowd fired up. So right. I mean, if you were there for Bitcoin, it's like, woo. I mean, if David Schwartz and Garlinghouse were acting like that about XRP, I'd be there. So it's like,
right. I get that. It was just weird. It was kind of weird to see.
Yeah, I wish I could have went, man, because I only lived 2 hours from Miami. I didn't even know they were having a conference. And then it was like a week before it, and I looked up tickets for like $4,000. And I was like, well, I'm not dropping $4,000 to go listen to a bunch of Bitcoin maxis scream. But it would have been cool, man, because like I really want to start going to these things. Like, I'm not an influencer or anything, but I want to meet some of these guys, man. Yeah. And like, you see, they're all there at all these things, man, just walking around. And it's like, it'd be so cool to like just pick that guy's brain for. I just want to look at David Schwartz and be like, "Are you Satoshi?" And you know he's just going to be like, "This guy's ridiculous," you know. But I still want to ask him, you know.
Right, gets that question a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he does.
So he's probably.
You see how he posts like little things too to make you be like, like every time he posts something, everybody gets on there and they're like, "That socks got Ripple. That socks got that," you know, and you're just like, but it's like that. He does that stuff, man.
He does it like he knows he's very intelligent, so he knows he's doing that stuff.
Dude. He's super smart.
I saw him do he was doing a speech. He did a lot of them, but I was watching a speech of him a few years ago on stage, just talking about the XRP ledger. When I heard that speech, it's like solidified my foundation.
I bet, man.
Man. He's something.
Yeah, I tell you, man, XRP right now is 55 cents again.
I tell you one thing, them newbies are having a rough time right now watching this slip.
Oh yeah, man. And see, that's the one thing. Even though I came in at the top, like I'm luckily enough, I have that mentality of
my God, thank God.
I didn't buy this to get rich next year or tomorrow. Like I bought this because of what I know could and probably will happen down the road. So
that's key. That is so key.
But it is stressful, man. It is stressful because like we have a decent amount in there, and like we're looking at it now, and like even though the number is not tiny, like it ain't as big as it should be,
right?
And it for damn sure ain't as big as it was a couple months ago.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like I think mine is down. Our entire portfolio, not including what we just did in this dip, was down by probably like 60% at one time. Just because certain ones got hit so hard, and like for me, like the main stuff, I'll just tell you what I hold in case anybody watching this gives a damn. Most of the stuff I hold is like I'm all about Binance, so I got BNB. I just like their the smart chain stuff. I think it's cool. I use like the
I wanted to ask you about that. So what do you think about Binance right now with everything that's going on with the with them getting sued?
I got another conspiracy for you, man. I got conspiracy theories for days. So
I think I know what you're going to say.
When I first started looking at this at Binance, I was like, why the hell can't we get on here? And then I was like, oh, it's Binance US. I didn't even realize that was a thing. Well, then like through watching these guys' videos, they're like, oh, Brian Brooks, you know, he's the new CEO. And I'm like, I don't know who this guy is.
Wow.
Saw a couple videos and he seems very well-spoken. So I always like to watch what he talks about because I like his delivery a lot. And He said the other day in a thing, they were like, I don't know if it was Squawk Box or what he was on, but they were asking him pretty much the same question, like, what's going on with Binance? And he was like, well, keep in mind, we are not part of that company whatsoever. He was like, we bought into the technology. He was like, and when we bought into and I am paraphrasing here, this wasn't like verbatim or anything, but he was like, when we bought into the technology, we did it with the intent of being the most regulatory compliant exchange out there. So what I find interesting, you bought technology from somewhere else in the world and you made sure you had every regulatory box checked. And now all of a sudden, every country out there is just hammering them. Binance, I mean, dude, Binance is going like down. I don't know. Like, I mean, they could go under. I mean, they really could, man. If you get every country in the world saying our citizens can't utilize your platform's gone.
Yeah.
And the thing is it doesn't mean anything about the technology goes away because the U.S. has positioned itself with Binance US.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dude, you know, this is America, man. They make power moves over here. America does not play, like, you know, getting into politics and stuff, which I never do, and I'm not going to now, but, like, I know people have certain opinions about us at certain times, but when it comes to dominating, I mean, that's what our government does, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to live over here in most instances anyway, compared to other places anyway, but, like, we don't lose, man.
Yeah.
When have we really lost? I mean,
it didn't compute well for me when I saw all this going on and Brooksy being over there. Just from following Brooks over the years, when I saw the price going down, when I saw all these articles coming at Binance, I said to myself, grab a little BNB.
Oh yeah. I mean, it went up to like 700 or whatever it was there for a while, man.
Yeah,
I use my BNB. I use the Kava platform for DeFi.
Yeah,
I'm pretty big on Kava, man. That is an awesome platform. The way it works, I love it. I actually figured out through their Telegram. So what I'm doing on there anyway is I have BNB supplied, and then I also have locked up some BUSD, the stable coins, and then
you put them both in the pool. You put them in a pool?
Yeah. So I locked them and then minted USDX against my balance. And then I locked USDX. I'm going to pull their site up just so I can read these numbers and be accurate. So what's really interesting about it is, so I have my BUSD locked and my BNB locked. So I can borrow USDX against my BNB for 0.5%. And then I can borrow against BUSD. I think they just changed it to 2.5. Let me check. Yeah, to 2.5%, right? So that's a really low interest rate loan.
Yeah.
Well, then you go over to the hard protocol side, which is still on the Kava platform. And right now you can provide the USDX that you minted. And right now you're getting 86% APY on it. So you're getting it for 0.5%, and then they're giving you 86%, right. But it's in Kava and hard tokens. Right. So you gotta, you know.
Yeah.
But I love it. So then I found out, I don't know if it's non-custodial or how it's working, but when I claim the rewards, you can claim your rewards monthly or you can claim them yearly. When you claim them yearly, they give you a 400% bonus on your rewards. That's where these high APYs really come in. If you take it monthly, you don't get 86%. You get like 20%. But then when you claim it yearly, you get the 400% bonus. But what's crazy is that 400% bonus, even though it's vested for a year, the tokens are in my trust wallet. And then what it lets me do is I've now staked those year-long rewards to a Kava validator for an additional 20% while I wait for them to come out. It's like, what? It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's the way to secure a network.
Oh yeah, man. And that's what I'm saying. You see that going on, like Kava, that platform is solid, man. And what's interesting, I just got on their Telegram because it says to borrow Kava, you will still get a reward APY for borrowing Kava of 61%. I don't understand how that works.
No.
But this guy me find this. He gave me this, or he sent me this this page. I'm in the wrong damn folder.
I saw a guy, Drake Digital, talking about that. He was just staking and baking and then borrowing off his stake, whatever he was making off of his stake. Yeah, it just kept going.
Yeah, it says that borrowing reward APY, you will be given this reward in hard tokens for borrowing assets. So it's like they want you to like. I haven't borrowed anything because I don't have any of that stuff locked yet. But that's what I need to mess with.
You can save pretty good on taxes when you do it that way.
Yeah, and I did a lot of stuff on vechain when they first launched too.
Did you?
Yeah, I
started to, but I didn't continue with it.
Yeah, it's a little too involved. I don't like how much like the involvement has to be.
Yeah.
But I mean it was cool too, man. I think I had like 3,000 or 4,000 XRP that I sent over there. And that's when XRP was over $1. So that's, the amount I was dealing with at the time. And I had that, I supplied that, and then I borrowed vechain and then the WASP token that they had on there.
Okay.
Because that pair gave you the biggest bonus in the liquidity pools or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was generating off of my 4,000. I think I was getting like 80 XRP a month. Sweet. So wasn't like a whole lot, but I mean, you think about the fact that's still like a 25% or something crazy, what I kept doing is just rolling it back in every time it would pay out. So it was gradually stepping up. But
have you had the chance to see Yieldly?
Mm-mm.
So Algorand, if you stake your Algorand on Yieldly.finance, you're able to enter into a no-loss lottery, and you're earning.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and you're earning Yieldly every day. So I've been earning Yieldly for the past maybe like 4 weeks just by staking my Algorand on the my Algo wallet in the Yieldly finance. So it's pretty good. So I've just been taking those earnings and just throwing them right back in and just compounding it. They now have a bridge.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah. They now have a bridge for Ethereum. They have an Ethereum bridge.
Nice.
And they're gonna be building a lot more onto that. I think they just got connected with esports to do DeFi, some type of gaming DeFi they have going on there.
Nice.
So they're doing a lot.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool looking site too.
Yeah.
Who else I'm on Pancake Swap too. I got some cake tokens. They have a syrup pool on Pancake where you can put your cake tokens and it auto restakes for you. It auto compounds like 288 times a day or something crazy. So that one's pretty cool. I think I only had like 100 tokens in there or something, but you're still getting a cake token every couple days spit back out. So it's like, and then I use them in that prediction game, and then they have a lottery thing now.
Oh, damn.
On Pancake. That's pretty cool. Yeah, some guy won the other day. I think he won like 1,500 or 15,000 cake tokens. It's only $5 to enter. I was like, dude, my face would melt. I'd be like, what? That's a come up right there, man.
That's crazy. That's awesome though, man.
And then you got Flare coming, man. Everybody's waiting.
Wow. I always forget about Flare.
I got into the beta, right? The last one. And it was such a dance to like hit these faucets and set up this MetaMask and do all this stuff, right? And I had my roommate kind of help me with it because he had already done it. We finally get it set up, and I get into the beta the first night, and like everything was just crashing so hard from the traffic. They scrapped the beta. So it's like I got this huge tease of like being in there and looking at it. And I was like, oh, never mind, we're not going to do it. And I'm like, what?
Crazy. You know what? I keep forgetting about Flare.
Oh yeah, man.
Because it's been so long.
I need to hurry up. But that's what I'm saying. I don't even have, dude. I missed out on the airdrop opportunities and everything. That was in December. I didn't get into like January, February. You know.
Oh damn. Yeah.
I like told my father-in-law, I'm like, why didn't you like keep telling me about it when this Flare thing was happening? Yeah. If you would have been like, go buy XRP and get these free tokens, I probably would have went and done it. I could have bought them for 1 day, sold them, and then been out.
Yep, it's for the Flare.
Even if didn't
they have an extension for Ledger?
I don't know. I know that I know you had an extension for claiming them.
Yeah.
But I think
okay, the claim.
I think for the snapshot, it had to be in a wallet like on December whatever it was.
Yeah.
They're going to be interesting, man, because the technology behind that's pretty cool. You know, they're leveraging the Ethereum virtual machine. They got the Avalanche thing rolling on. You know, it's really interesting what they got set up there.
I'm anxious to see.
I thought it was Codius, to be honest. I thought that's what that was in the beginning. I did.
Everybody did.
It was so pro XRP, you know, and everything. And it's like smart contracts, and you're like, it's Codius, you know. Codius. Then Stefan Thomas comes out and he's like, no, Codius is still alive. That's not Codius. Like,
yeah. People are
when's that going to happen? I mean,
people are thinking. People are saying Codius might have something to do with Filecoin too.
Who knows, man?
Who knows?
I mean, they say that like I've listened to him talk, David Schwartz talk about that too, and that's going to be a big thing. He was talking about how it's like it's able to keep secrets, is how he says it in the video. He's like, it can keep secrets. So basically, you can have a smart contract on the Ethereum chain interacting with the Bitcoin chain, but it somehow keeps both sides of everything intact and secure to where it's not, you know, I don't really know how to explain it, but that's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting stuff.
Sweet, man. Well, it's good having you. We'll definitely have to do this again sometime, man.
Yeah, man. Anytime, man. Like I said, I'm in daddy daycare mode around here a lot, man, because like the world's about to change. You know, a lot of people don't like that. It freaks a lot of the older people out, but it's like, when this thing pops off, man, you know, a lot of people I think there's a large risk of like a depression type event at some point. And if you're not on board, you can fall into that, you know, and it scares me. It scares me for other people too, because that's what
I worry about. I worry
about this whole thing falls apart and all that's left is crypto, and you had all these people with these crazy investments and like, you know, stuff that doesn't matter anymore. And maybe it doesn't happen that drastically. I don't know. But I just, I feel like there's an opportunity here that I don't want my people to miss out on. And by my people, I pretty much mean everybody, but especially my group, you know, my core people. I'm like, no, we can't miss this. You know, it's like the internet. I mean, it's bigger than the internet, in my opinion.
It's bigger than that because there's value. I mean, the internet value is involved.
Look at Michael Saylor, dude. Look at Michael Saylor's investment history. It's not good.
It's not good. No, not good.
I mean, that guy owns a shit ton of Bitcoin. Don't get me wrong, but like outside of that, man, I don't know.
It's crazy.
I think that's why he's so bullish, is he refuses to miss out on an opportunity again. Yeah. And I think he will die trying to take Bitcoin on a promised land. I give him props for that. I think he's out of control and kind of a loose cannon, but like he's dead ass serious about what he's invested in.
It's like there's no logical thinking, like where he's at right now engraved in Bitcoin. There's no logical thinking about anything else. Even if something better could come along, he probably wouldn't be able to recognize it because of where he's at.
Well, dude, just remember this clip where he's like, there's no second best digital asset. That whole clip, that's exactly what you're talking about.
That's it right there.
I remember watching that and I'm like, man, this dude is like right now.
Man, oh man. It's like you know this, it reminds me of the Philadelphia Eagles when they had a coach. Do you remember Chip Kelly?
Oh yeah. Are you an Eagles fan?
Yeah.
Oh man, we got problems, bro.
Die hard, baby.
Washington, bro, right here.
Oh boy. But what oh, I see a little itty bitty Washington sign over there. Oh God, you just ruined your cave. Yo, but what I noticed about Chip Kelly is I really like Chip Kelly, and I really liked his style. But the thing that was wrong about Chip Kelly is he couldn't adapt.
Yeah. He chopped that whole team.
If I knew what play he was going to call in the game, there's something wrong because I'm just a fan.
Yeah. He was all about that no huddle, man.
Yeah. He never integrated the NFL game with his style.
Well, and then he got rid of everybody.
Yeah.
Remember that? He got chopped the whole team up. You're like, what is this guy doing?
Decimated. Killed Eagles fan spirit for life.
Yeah, but you guys led us into the playoffs last year, man. Yeah. Shout out to Jalen for that. You know?
Yeah. So that kind of reminds me of like, you know, people in crypto missing out, not being able to adapt.
Well, and that's the other thing too. You can't be like this huge maxi in one situation either. I mean, maybe it works out well for you, but I just feel like why wouldn't you scatter your chances a little bit? You know, like you look at all these ISO coins, they should all make it. They might not. I mean, in all reality, as an XRP holder, man, we could all. I told somebody the other day, you know, they talk about the greatest transfer of wealth, you know, the great reset. This is not good for a crypto channel. So please don't everybody hate me for this. I don't believe this. But what if we're all just being led to the slaughterhouse right now? What if crypto bringing us everybody in, building it up, and then gone? That could be. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think that's what's going to happen. But it's just there's a lot of these unknowns. So for me to go 1,000% in one direction, I can't do it, man.
Yeah,
I gotta say that's a winner. That's a win. In my book, everything I hold's a winner, and it's all. You know, you got XRP, XLM, XDC. I call them my 3 X's. It's the only X's I talk to.
There we go.
Cause it's the standard in this bitch. XRP. I went to YouTube University, and now they mocking me with no degree. We saying by the swift, keep it walking. Respect your elders in these bushes. Bitcoin is talking.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and the pleasure. Wait, and blockchain. Your partner in crime.
Yes. Thanks for having me. See you soon.